The Supervisor tab appears on all of the different types of loci, including the cleanup locus. And here you can have a Supervisor tab. We didn't work on that one. We're going to do it on the earth, the architecture. Here's the Supervisor tab. And then you have the installation also has a Supervisor tab. This is asking the question, are there any supervisor observations? That's the first question that you're going to ask. You can also get to the supervisor information through another method, and that is to select the supervisor button itself, and that'll take you here, just like pressing the pottery pail button will take you to a pottery pail tag. We can see the photographs, specifically the things related to this square that have to do with the supervisor plan. And hit the return button, we come back and see again, here's our supervisor plan. This is the plan. What is your plan? Now I'm not going to go into any details or specifics on what information should go into these boxes, as you will need to talk to your field supervisor as to what is important and what your supervisor feels should be included here. But I will show you how the boxes work. So the first thing you're going to see here is that we're going to start new. We're going to click the new button like so, and we're going to then tap in the date to give it a date. So we're going to use today's date. Select it there, current. Tap outside of the box and it's there. Notice the next thing you need to do is put a time. In this case, currently it is 3:11 p.m., but we're going to think it's early in the morning because this is the first thing in the morning. We're going to say that at 6:30 in the morning, when we're starting out on our first Earth locus, we can add our time. Now this time is important because your observations will change over time. And you will want to make sure that when you are adding information into this box, as you continue to add new ones, that you're always keeping track of the date and the time. Because later it will actually sort them by date and time, and you can go through and read what your observations were, what strategy that you may have employed, what execution that you did, and what your results were. So we now have the date and time in. Now we're going to look at what size is this. In this case it's 5 meters by 5 meters. Click outside the box. Now what is my observation? Let's suppose you don't remember what's this about. Click the info box, and in the info it'll give you information. It says the observation, inference, and strategy sheet should say something about what is observed in the ground as we come to it, and an inference regarding how, either man-made or natural, and when, before or after, not the specific archaeological period, the attached locus got there. So you're going to put in some type of observation. But that's where you get the information from. And then, so I'm going to put in an observation. I'm going to say this is, let's see, rubble over topsoil. With the possible, let's see, north / south wall, with a possible north-south wall. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. You can put a lot more information. Again, discuss this with your field supervisor. Now it says to insert a picture. Once you put in your observation, you need to add a photograph. We need to know what it is that you saw and then how you describe it, and making sure that you're describing what's in the picture and what you think is there. What is it that you are observing? So take a picture. Now what you're supposed to do is take the picture first, and then after you've taken the picture, you're going to insert the picture here. You only need to add one picture unless there's something additional that you may want to add. Additional photographs are okay. And I'll show you how to add additional photographs as well. So let's start by saying, okay, we're going to add a picture, and notice that immediately everything has changed from being red, which means that we didn't fill in some important information, to now everything is clear so that we can begin. So to add a picture of observation, that is our first look. So I'm going to tap on that box there and it's going to say, where am I going to get this picture from? You can take a picture with the iPad, but as I've mentioned before, if you take a picture with the iPad using the camera app that you see at the top of the list for importing, it will only appear in the database and will not appear as a backup on the iPad. So make sure that you go and take a picture first with the iPad and then come back and then pick it up from the most recent pictures. And there I picked it up from the most recent picture and it has added it in place. And if I want to get a better look at it, all I have to do is click view, and here I can see, oh, there's my rubble filled. And if I look there on the right, maybe that is a north-south wall, and is that possibly an east-west wall? I'm not so sure, but I'm just going to draw my observations based upon what I see. Okay, so there's my picture. But what if I have another picture that I want to add? So all I have to do is click that little arrow back and forth, back and forth. Again, we're going to click the arrow, we're going to tap that box, and then we're going to insert another picture. So that's how you can add a second picture, and you can add as many pictures as you'd like, but only enough to illustrate what your observation is and what inferences you are going to make. Now another thing you're going to notice is that there is now a little update button there. Before you click any of the update buttons, let's begin with our strategy. So in this strategy I'm going to peel, actually it's peel is spelled E-L, peel 1 meter strips the length of the square. So that's my strategy. I'm going to take 1 meter strips for the length of the square, and depending on how much pottery you get, I would assign then I would assign a pottery pail. So let us now go back and let's see now update. So click the update button, and you're going to want to add a picture. Notice what it's asking you. When I tap on it, it's going to say, would you like to add a photo or a top plan or fill out a pottery pail tag? Okay, this is reminding you that once you're going to create a strategy, there are 3 things that you need to do. Create a pottery pail, draw a top plan, and a photo. Okay, in this case, we're going to collect pottery pail tag. So now it's going to say, you want to go to the pottery pail tag? Yes, we do. And we're not going to actually add a picture right now, but if I need a pottery pail tag, I click on the pottery pail tag and fill in the pottery pail tag information. I'm not going to do that at this time, as I'm going to come back to this and give you more information about the pottery pail tag. Okay, you're going to also include execution information. And then when you are finished, you're going to come back and fill in the results, adding a photograph to the strategy and to the results. And here's something that many people forget, is that often when you start out excavating an area, like in Locus 1, I may decide that, hey, wait a minute, I started out with a plan of making it a 5 by 5 meter square of excavation, but I changed and decided to make it a 2 by 5. And assign that. Perhaps I found something that was unique or interesting and I wanted to be careful. So you can put what is the final, at the very end, after you close this locus, what is the final result? After you've finished with your strategy, your execution, and then written your results. What do you see last? At the end, always tap that update button and it'll update the database. So now let's take a look at our next step, and that is we need to do a pottery pail tag.